Hi everybody and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to show you how to make a DIY Christmas tree using yarn, Mod Podge, a cone and some cling film. Okay, so I've put it all on the table so you can see everything that we need for this project. So let's get started. So first things first, you need to find yourself a cone. Now this cone was off a spool of yarn, or if you can't find a cone, you can make a cone yourself out of using an old cereal box or anything that you find like that, anything that's going to be nice and stable. So the next thing we need to do is we're going to get some cling film and we're going to cover the entire cone. Okay, so once your cone is entirely covered in cling wrap, the next thing we need to do is that we need to get the Mod Podge and we need to pour it into a bowl. So I've gone ahead and done this. So it is about 2 part Mod Podge and 1 part water. And it needs to be sort of the consistency a little bit like milk. So that, then we grab our yarn. And I'm just going to tie the yarn to the top of the cling film. So that's just going to hold it in place just as we sort of wrap it around the cone. So when you wrap it around the bottom, you want to make sure that it's nice and level. Otherwise, your Christmas tree is going to be sitting a little bit wonky. Okay, so as you're wrapping your yarn around the cone, what I find to be a little bit helpful is if you just every now and then just add some Mod Podge, and that just sort of helps to sort of keep it in place. So once you've got your cone nicely covered to the sort of consistency that you're after, what you want to do is just tie the top of the yarn to your tree. So to the cone, sorry. So I'm going to go ahead and do that and then I'll see you in a moment. Okay, so now that you've tied your tree to the top of your cone, sorry, tied your yarn to the top of the cone, what we want to do now is get a nice generous layer of your glue onto the cone. Okay, so now that you've got your cone nicely covered in Mod Podge, what we're going to do is we're going to set that aside and leave that for 24 hours to completely dry. Okay, so I'll see you after 24 hours. Okay, so the tree's been left for 24 hours now. So what I've done is I've picked up this bag of assorted rhinestones, and what I thought it would be nice to do is just to glue some of these rhinestones onto the tree before we take the tree out of the cone. So I figured that I'd just do it this way just so that it's got a little bit more stability before we actually take it out. So we're just going to go ahead and do that. Make sure you're sticking it onto the yarn though, and not onto a gap. Okay, so now we're going to take the tree off the cone. So I'm just going to cut the top here. So now we've got the cone out, so we've just got to gently pull the cling film off. And there we go, we got it out. So here's your tree. So this is what it looks like once it's out of the cone. And what we can do is, if you wanted to, you could glue a star . So that's your tree.